Can you believe only 90,000 miles and these boots are trash? Like, what the world, BMW? Is that part of the boot up? What the? You know, somebody had commented on one of my previous videos about how I either run out of daylight or it rains on me when I'm working on the cars. Are we going to take bets that's going to happen today? As you previously saw, the dust boot for the i3 is completely gone. And it also appears that some of it is smashed up between the bounce stopper and the actual shock absorber itself. So I was going to make a video on replacing this damn boot. How hard could it be? But I also figured I would demonstrate this tool that I found on Amazon for 600 bucks. I think it was $600. It's a, well, what the heck is it called? I'll have it down in the description. It's a SK Spring Compressor 3000. And I figured what better way to demonstrate using this tool while I also need to replace the dust boot on the i3. So, no, didn't work, did it? One more time. Don't forget to disable the alarm when you're jacking up your i3. It worked! Now, can I do this to finish the rest of this job? I have a feeling no. Okay. So what I'm going to focus on first is removing this brake brake hose bracket right here, which this is also a, you can't see it over here, but it's this nut right here. It's a E12 bolt on this side, I do believe. But I don't have a spline socket, so I'm using a metric 10mm cobalt universal that does all those nuts and bolts heads in one little socket. And this back side is going to be a 16. And then BMW's torque spec for this will be in the description. Now that's removed. Right here is your ABS speed sensor. Down here there is a T30. It's a T30 nut. So I'm going to take that out. Now you could be tricky Ricky here. Well, how long is this bolt? There we go. So there's the bolt. There's the speed sensor. You could be tricky Ricky here. And rather than taking this out, you could go back here where my index finger's at, pop this compartment open, and pull the wires out. That way to give you some more slack so that when you bring this knuckle forward, you don't stretch these cables. Oh, well this is the passenger side, and the passenger side doesn't have the brake wear indicator, so that's only on the driver's side. You'll have two cables right here. So I remove that. That was easy peasy. The next thing I'm going to remove is the stabilizer link right here. This is a 16mm nut, and this is a T30 end right here that goes into the stabilizer bolt itself. I'm going to use my socket set to try and break the torque on that. Is that not a 16? It isn't. Well, what the hell? The pain part here probably could use a ratchet, a 1/4 inch ratchet on the end of this. I wonder if I could just zap that out. I know it might ruin my stabilizer link, but right now... Oh. Well, that worked better. Interesting. Then this, down here, lift up your whole assembly here, and this should, well, ideally, ooh, there we go. There we go. So then that comes out. Now, all we have left is the 3 13mm bolts at the top. So right here is the 3 13mm bolts that we have. I'm going to break them loose with a ratchet and then use the impact to zip them out after I smack myself in the face with the handle of this. Oh, well, that came undone relatively easily. Okay, well, that's 1 out of 3. Now I gotta figure out how to put this one on in the back. There we go. Ah! Ow! Beware of where you put your extremities. Okay. And then we have one right here in the front. Well, that was pretty simple. All right. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Is that the saying? I don't remember what the saying is. All right. A few ugga-duggas here. Oh, that came out perfectly. A lot of dust coming out too. Ugh. Okay. There we go. Okay, so with those done, I'm going to push this whole unit down, and it should come out relatively simple, I think. Oh, there we go. Then we got to tilt this forward. Now, as you do this, you want to be very careful of a few things. Okay, well, we're in the way here. There we go. Wow, I really have... You want to be careful that as you bring this strut out, be careful you don't scratch your paint right here. And 2, I need to move you back way further than where you are. There's a jack right here to support this rotor and caliper weight so that you don't have all that weight supported on the end of this wishbone. So I believe BMW's procedure is to remove the rotor and remove the caliper so that you don't have that excess weight holding on the end of that wishbone and then potentially ruining those bushings. So I put a jack stand here to kind of support that weight. So what I'm going to attempt to do now is, ever so carefully, this strut should just kind of like rotate out of here. But I have a feeling it's not going to. There's supposed to be some special removal tool, according to BMW's procedure, that you can pry this knuckle open to get this strut out. But if this don't work, this is a royal pain in my ass, let me tell you. I'm gonna see if I can rebalance this jack stand here. There. Damn it. There. There. So that's better balanced right there. Or so I thought. I think I'm going to resort to a hammer with some persuasion And I'm going to hit right here on the strut mount, or on the stabilizer link mount right here. To pull this out without damaging this speed sensor, because I really don't feel like going back to the dealership and being overcharged for parts. Damn it. Oh, come on. This is a frustrating experience. We're going to remove, can I remove this? Damn it, come on. The brake hose is in the way, the sensor's in my damn way. There we are. I don't know what you're gonna be able to see. I don't have a field monitor set up right now. But, damn it. Wow, this is royally, this bitch is like shoved in here. It's gonna agitate me. Come on. Let's not hit the brake hose. Oh my God. That was annoying. I have a feeling I'm running out of daylight. So we have the strut out. And we're going to put it in this device. So this device has a few options of how you secure struts. These feet come out, and you can rotate them around for the bottom of the strut. And the strut can either sit in their right side up or upside down. For the i3 specifically, I found to use these feet on the inside and take the strut and put it in this vise, close this vise. This way, where the stabilizer link mounts to the strut, I have it between these two feet. Then we just tighten that down. And then we align where our arms are going to go, and these are adjustable. So I'm going to put one right here. Use one right there. And then it's as easy as cranking it down. Voila. So I've brought you in closer. And there's some extra light. I'm not out of light yet, but I might be out of time for the rain coming. Anyway, speed time. This bolt is an 18, and this interior nut for the actual strut tower is a 16, or an H16 hex key. I lost it. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? But I don't have an offset wrench, so I'm going to try an impact. See if I can't zip this off. At least loosen it. All right. So if it's at least loosened, then I should be able to work the rest of this off of there, like so. And then this whole unit should just come right up, like so. My bearing feels good. We're going to take this rubber off right here. That's trash. This still spins pretty good. This is the joist stopper. And, oh, it doesn't want to come up. And as you can, oh my gosh. Yeah. All that was in there. I wonder if that could affect the camber adjustment. You know, if it's dirty, don't stick it in. Anyway. So now we make sure that's all clean. Don't you be digging in my yard over there. And while this strut's here, I'm going to pull the rest of this disintegrated dust cover out. This has only got 90,000 miles on it. My Flex has got 220,000 miles on it, and it's on the original dust cover boots. Now they look kind of like this now, but they're still actually intact, and they're not jammed like this one was. So now, I need a new one of these. Okay. Wow. This really made a mess, that's for sure. Okay. Huh. It's amazing how much more that goes on there. But with that hole being stretched now, I wonder if that's going to affect the performance of this. So maybe next time I want to replace the actual strut, order new of these as well. Probably have to order more of these, new of these, because these may not last that long. So now I'm going to, well, put this in there, then put this in there, just like that. And then put this on top. Now, there is no actual alignment. There's an alignment pin right here where it goes in the car, but as far as what sits on here, when you rotate this, there was no alignment. At least that I found per the spec of BMW's TIS. Oh, but I do want to make sure that this part of the strut right here is in line with this part of the boot right here. So that I do want to do. Because that is where, yeah, that is where this sits with this. So that I do want to make sure that we are rotating that correctly. And then I want to put this on there. Oh, would you look at that? Now, BMW says replace this nut, and I didn't think to order the new hardware. And the last time I went to the dealership to get a simple nut, it was $5 on their website, and then when I went there in person to purchase it, it was all of a sudden $15. And their whole excuse was, well, BMW offers it cheaper online to better compete with other vendors. Well, why don't they have that price fully? So in that case, I'm going to put a little bit of thread locker in this nut. Just a little bit of blue. Just a smidgy. And this is torqued down to 48 foot-pounds. There we are. There we are. And a good ugga-dugga just to make sure we're at 48 foot-pounds, because my torque wrench only goes to 50 as its lowest. Now that's done. We just release our tension on the spring. Okay, so after finagling around, the issue that I had, or the biggest time sunk of this entire process, was getting this spring to compress completely straight so that this upper part of the dust boot sat in the spring nicely. And that's not what really was going on. It would come down crooked, and then it became frustrating. So now I'm going to come down here and put the rest of this dust boot on at the bottom of this spring. There's a few times I had to take this spring and kind of rotate it around so that I could get this to compress nice and straight and be able to put the top bearing on and still have the spring nice and aligned in the dust boot. Otherwise, somehow this top part of the spring would be like all the way over here And then when I release the tension, this would be underneath here, cockeyed. And that's not how it's supposed to be. Now comes the process of putting this back in there. So on the end of this strut, there's a key right here where my index finger is. That key goes right here in the spline of this knuckle, or as BMW calls it, a swivel bearing. Now the thing is this didn't come out easily, and it's probably not going to go back in easily either. Okay, now, how much of this are you going to be able to see? There we are. Okay, so here we go. And it's probably not going to go down in there. So what am I going to do? Well, at least it's moving. I spoke too soon. Oh, Lord. It can never be easy, can it? It's got to be complicated. I'm trying to put this in without smashing my fingers and without scratching my paint. Persuasion. Make sure my keyhole's lined up. There we go. Okay. Now this should remove the jack and should just kind of like align it back up in there the way it comes out. Just, ow. Are you even in frame? Okay. You can't see up in there, but we're there. Now let's put our stuff back together before I lose my mind. Or lose anything else for that damn matter. All right. I'll put the speed sensor back in first. So a few things to note. These bolts that go up here in the upper mount to the car, they're mounted to 21 foot-pounds, which, to be honest, is not a whole lot of weight, or is not a whole lot, actually. I believe BMW's procedure is to replace these bolts as well. I'm just going to put a little bit of thread locker on there, of blue thread locker, and then I'm going to cinch them up in there. I'm not going to over torque them, so I don't need a whole lot of this. But just in case I can't find the hole. Come on, come on. There we go. I think, yep. One down, two more to go. Find the hole and run it up in there. Now the other one went in nice and easy. Why are you fighting me? Look, it's starting to rain. It's completely dark outside. What the fudge? It is 7:10 at night, and I'm still fighting this car to put it back together. Clearly, I lost a bet that I'd have it done before A, it rained, and B, I'd be out of daylight. And I like to gamble. I think I just bet craps the next time and call it a day. Okay. And if I have to replace these again, or when it's time to replace these struts, let me know in the comments. Do we go with H&R springs and Blistine shocks, or just go back with BMW factory stuff? I don't have my big wrench. I came all the way down here, completely prepared, and yet again, I'm not. Isn't that the life of a mechanic? Wait, that's probably why you have tool carts that you drag around with you throughout the whole shop. Because every time you turn around, you're missing something. And then you get to your project area and you realize what you need is still over on the bench. Oh, wrong one. All right. I'm just going to run that up in there. And then use the wrench to do the final torque down. That's good. Okay. Next we're gonna put this bolt back in, which is this bolt and this nut, which should be a 16mm nut. And once again, I didn't bring my tools down with me. Oh my gosh. Okay. Now, BMW says in the procedure, when you're torquing this down, you apply the torque on the nut side, not the bolt side, if I interpreted it correctly. But to be honest, their BMW TIS software is not exactly user-friendly. It took me an hour and a half just to learn how to use it. Actually, not just to learn how to use it, but just to find the torque specs. I had to go to the TMS, pay for the $30 for the subscription. And I thought, well, great, that's the end of it. And nope. I then had to use TIS to look up the model code. And then I had to go to some external site of theirs, AIR, I think, and type in my model code. And then that brings up everything for the i3, which then it's like not completely organized at all. It's just a list of a bunch of random stuff. So that was unique. But after all of that and finding strut repair, I finally figured out the torque specs. Then I had to convert Newton meters to pound feet. And I did not look up the stabilizer link and its repair procedure to see what this nut went on as. But I can't imagine it's going to be any more than probably what they have listed here for the other ones. So I'm going to say it's like 33, 40 foot-pounds. The problem is now I have to get this damn thing, you know, back in this hole while it's raining, while it's dark outside. This is almost like my senior year here. I can't see what the hell it is I'm doing, and I'm against the clock. Ouch. There we go. Am I all the way in? Lord, I hope so. Use the leg. At least this stuff's not that heavy. But I don't think that's how it's supposed to be. Something just the way that it looks does not look right, because the bolt is angled down. It's not in there all the way. Why? Why? Aha. Look at that. Just use the jack real quick. And then, hi baby. Can I help you with something? Some thread locker, because I'm sure you're supposed to replace this nut too. Whoa, 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 whoa. 16. Here comes the rain. At least it's rain and not snow. Put it on the wrong way. Oh, here comes the rain. The rain. Well, I moved you guys so you can kind of see what it is I'm dealing with right now. So we're right here. So I'm right here with this, torquing this bolt down. Ouch. This is where a ratcheting wrench would come in handy. I don't think it'd be that bad if this brake hose wasn't in my damn way. But I probably have too big of a wrench in here too. But I gotta work with what I have. So I think that's also part of my problem. Is this wrench is just too big for this itty-bitty f***ing car. I don't want to be pulling my brake hose now. I would think I was just going the wrong way a minute ago. I was. I would do all the work and then undo the work blindly. Okay. impact. Zap that down, a few ugga-duggas. Holy Lord. Oh, all of that to change out this strut. No? Really? One more. Oh, come on. Maybe. Oh, yes. It worked. Oh. I am out of daylight. It is raining. I don't know if you can see it on camera. Hey, who asked for your opinion? Nobody? If you liked it, hit that button. But if you didn't, you know what to do. And I apologize for not having new hardware. I'm very much an advocate of doing it by the book. Just this was more of a time crunch as well, so I didn't get a chance to order the correct bolts. For that, I apologize. Torque specs will be listed in the description. I'm not a fan of using BMW's TIS system to look up torque specs and information and removal procedures. It's really a pain. But if I'm going to do my own work, I want to do it by the book. If I'm going to show people how to do the work, well, get away from me. I would want to at least do it correctly and coherently as I possibly can. What did you guys think, if you had an opinion, on this little spring compressor tool? My initial thought with the two struts that I've done is it works. It compresses the spring. It's just reassembling it and putting the upper bearing back on and making sure the spring is nice and vertical when it wants to get wonky seems to be my frustration point. Outside of that, I kind of like it. I want to test it out on the flex, but I'm in no mood to be doing the front end work on the flex right now because I'm just not in the mood. That's a whole other process. The reason I got this was because this has struts at all four corners, and I figured having this on hand to compress the spring versus the tool that you get where it goes on the side and you use those, this looks safer to me. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. With that, I will see you guys in the next one. What are you doing? He's going after a moth or whatever's flying over there. You Oh, folks, you enjoy the rest of your evening, your day. What shiny object? Oh, look, see, even I got sidetracked by it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Hi, baby. Are you ready to go for a walk? I'm dirty. What? You've been out here all day. You've dug up my yard. You've chased the squirrels out of this yard I don't know how many times. Come on, come on, come on, come on.